We're going to be doing some Crash 1.
Crash bandicoot!
Yeah, some first Crash. Hey everyone, Jesse here, and welcome to a new stream.
The cortex. You haven't determined the cause of past failures. Moron. This bandicoot will be my general. Will lead my cortex commandos to world domination.
Good morning, my friend. How are you today?
You're closer than ever before. Quickly, into the vortex. The vortex is not ready. You have no idea what it could do.
And I could just say that yesterday, the movie was fantastic. My favorite Hotel Transylvania movie.
Failure again.
I slept well last night. That's good to hear, my friend. Glad that you slept well last night. I managed to sleep pretty good last night, too.
Prepare the field.
I definitely managed to sleep pretty good last night, too. Been a while since I did the first Crash game. But yeah, Hotel Transylvania 4 was fantastic. What a great way to end off the franchise. And don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything for y'all. I'm not going to spoil anything, just in case if y'all haven't seen it yet. So if you're all worried about spoilers, you don't have to worry about it, because I'm not going to say anything. Well done. And a lot of people can say that this movie was better than 3. I say a lot of people say that Hotel Transylvania 4 was better than 3. I definitely like 3, but I definitely like this one a lot more. And again, with a heartwarming ending, that's all I would say about it. Is an ending that would make you cry. That's all I could say. It would make you cry, or emotional, which I certainly did. I certainly felt emotional the first time watching it. Whenever it comes to emotional things, I try to hide me crying. Whenever it comes to emotional stuff, I try to hide myself from crying. Because I do not like crying when it's in the public or I'm around somebody. Disney, am I really buying this gray for money? course I am. I love that line on SpongeBob. Am I really gonna define this grave for money? Of course I am. For real. Disney digs into the grave to bring Ice Age and Rio franchise back alive without Blue Sky Studios. Oh well, you like that? I sure do. And it's beautiful. Come to Papa. And come on, Smitty, let go. Smitty working Chisterman Jenkins. Uh, why do people not make memes with that? Right? Like, honestly, why do people not create memes with that saying? They've done it with loads of other SpongeBob sayings. Why not this? That would work so perfect. That SpongeBob saying would work so well for a meme. Again, just like how you described Disney saying that, am I really going to define this grave for money? Of course I am. Like, that would just work so well as an actual meme to watch. It'd be great as a meme. And they really should think of making memes like that. And all I could say about Hotel Transylvania 4 as well is it also has a good lesson. It teaches a good lesson of um basically somebody not thinking that he's a part of the family and not being accepted, which that's the whole thing with the movie is Johnny basically not feeling like he's part of the family with Drag because he's not a monster. So again, they definitely teach a good lesson. And I definitely like the way that they were going with the movie. What I could say is some real great stuff. I'm surprised I didn't fall in the water there. Yeah, if Disney, I say it's franchise. No, it's Rio franchise as well because 20th Century Animation is working on Rio 3 in development for Disney Plus exclusive without Blue Sky Studios, which I do wonder, and I see people worried. Here's the thing about Rio 3. I see people worried about the movie, about Rio 3, without Blue Sky Studios involved. I mean, it's not like Rio 3 is going to be ruined just because Blue Sky ain't part of it, right? That definitely does not mean that Rio 3 will be a bad movie. Just because Blue Sky ain't involved. So, right, it's not going to be bad even if Blue Sky ain't involved. It's still going to be, I say, decent. It sure is. Very exciting news. But again, like I said, Rio 3 ain't going to be bad just because Blue Sky ain't involved. Am I right? Rio 3 ain't going to be ruined. Like, it's not going to be a disaster. Obviously not. It won't be a disaster. It's not going to be any disaster. I mean, yeah, it's probably not going to be as good as the first two, but still, it's not going to be terrible. I could just say. Yeah, it's crazy to think. I could just tell you, it is crazy to think how many years it's been since the last Rio movie, right? Since Rio 2? That is crazy how many years it's been. And I understand. People thought Rio was probably dead because many years ago, since the last Rio movie. And I understand that. I really understand that people probably assumed that Rio 2 was the last movie. But no, Rio 3 is happening. And I definitely wanted to see a 3. I definitely always wanted to see what a 3 would be. Because I'm a person that also enjoys the Rio franchise. I definitely enjoyed the Rio franchise. It's really funny and decent. And it has some great characters. Which I wonder if Nigel's gonna be in this. Right? Who knows if Nigel's gonna come back? If Nigel's gonna come back, and or who's gonna be the villain? Because both movies had villains. Both movies had villains, so I wonder who's gonna be the villain in this movie. I'm very curious to see who is gonna be the main antagonist for the third installment. And what the plot will be. Where Blue and Joel will, and their kids will be going, what adventure will be, basically, they'll be going to next. Because first we have Blue and what's, again, everything that happened in the first movie. And then the second one, them getting lost in the wilderness, in the jungle. So, who knows what the third plot will be? And I could see it being pretty decent. As for a plot, I could see it being decent. A pretty decent and very funny plot. Yeah, Nigel is the main antagonist of Rio franchise. And he's funny. Can we agree? Nigel is one of the funniest characters to be a villain in Rio. I love Nigel as a character. He has some very funny stuff. And his laugh. His laugh can be very crazy. Like, Nigel is an insane character. He could go crazy. And again, who wouldn't like Nigel? Who doesn't like Nigel as a character? He is such a great character. He's one of my favorite characters when it comes to Rio. He just has that energy. He just has everything that you would want from a villain. And he works. Especially everything that he does to get rid of Blue and his family. He just works so very well. And who knows what kind of disaster Nigel's going to get himself into in this third movie. That's right. Say goodbye to all that past stuff and say hello to the future of the franchise, because Rio is back. We thought Rio wasn't probably going to return, right? Ever since after Rio 2. There was people that was probably like, after Rio 2 happened, and the long gap between the last movie and now, since hearing that there's going to be a third one, yeah. Did we even expect there to be a 3? Me, myself, back in the day, I really thought Rio 2 was probably going to was the last movie, because we did not hear anything from Rio, from that franchise, for years. Right? For years, we did not hear anything if Rio would come back. Like, it was questionable. Like, you could hear people say, like, is that it? Like, is that the end of Rio? Is Rio dead? Like, that was I could see people's, what they would say. Like, I mean, it would be pretty. It would still be pretty decent if it did end on the second movie, but it's great to see that we are getting a third one after years of not knowing, right? It's years. We had to wait like for years and years and years. There was nothing. There is literally nothing if Rio was going to come back. If we were going to see Blue again and Joel and the family. Like, it was a question that a lot of us would also say, like, we did not know if it would have ever came back, but we now know that Rio 3 is happening. Like, again, I can't be the only one that assumed that, or was wondering that, ever since after Rio 2, we were wondering, like, is that it? Is Rio gone? Like, again, a long gap since Rio 2 came out. I can't be the only one to assume, wondering the question of, is Rio gonna ever come back? Of the long wait? Like, again, I can't be the only one to think, that, like other people would probably think. Like, I would also understand, because people would probably get to the point where wondering that, is Rio gonna ever come back after years and years of it, or since the last movie? And I don't blame them either. And 2004, I mean 2014, sorry, 2014. That was, yeah, about 8 years ago. That is long time of not knowing. Ever since Rio 2, 8 years, 8 years since Rio 2 came out. Since we've heard the last of Rio, of a front as the franchise itself, that is extremely long of not knowing nothing with that franchise. Can we just say, hi there, my friend? But we got to admit, 8 years, that is too long since the last movie, and not knowing anything if the franchise was ever going to come back. There would be a lot of questions surrounding it, like, is Rio gonna come back? Is there a chance for it to come back? Like, again, that's what I assume all of us were thinking. I mean, I guess you could say the same question with lots of other movies. Like SpongeBob, of all things. We didn't know that SpongeBob was going to get a third movie, right? We didn't know Sponge on the Run was going to happen since 2015. So, the second movie was going to be it. Well, has it really been 8 years? It really has. 2014, to be exact. 2014, 8 years ago, since Rio 2 came out. I know, hard to believe. It really has been 8 years. It really doesn't. It really, really doesn't feel like 8 years. I am surprised and shocked as you. It really does not feel like 8 years. It really doesn't. It just does not feel like 8 years. That's really how time has flown by. My favorite are spikes. But sadly, I know. I understand that. And I agree with you too. I can understand that. And I guess you could say the same thing with Toy Story. Like Toy Story or Toy Story 3. 2010. And then in 2018, to be exact, we got the announcement of Toy Story 4. And we did not expect it, right? I did not even expect there to be a Toy Story 4. I thought Toy Story 3 was going to basically be the end. And it would have made sense. It would have worked perfectly too, right? I would have been okay with it. I really would have been okay with if Toy Story 3 was the final Toy Story movie. But surprisingly, we actually got a fourth movie. And I kind of do prefer that movie over 3. Yeah, me saying that I prefer Toy Story 4 over 3. I do prefer Toy Story 4 over any of the Toy Story movies. Oh, and speaking of Toy Story, and speaking of Tim Allen, if y'all don't know, he's going to be doing his own Santa Claus spin-off series. Yeah, Tim Allen's going to be doing the Santa Claus again, but in a form of a series. How cool is that? Y'all may have not heard about that, didn't y'all? I mean, yeah, it's been a long time since you hear Tim Allen as Santa Claus. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you being the person like, dang, it's been so long since Tim Allen was asked to be Santa Claus. I know. It really has been so long. And he's also going to be directing it too. Which I could see this being great. Especially how much I love the Santa Claus trilogy and Tim Allen as Santa Claus in general. He makes a great Santa. I think I do. I think I may have heard of it before. Probably one time, or maybe several times. I just not thinking. I always do not like these types of levels where you have to get to the end of the level without dying, because it's so scary. It's so scary. Like, ugh. You do not want to fail. You don't want to fail because you have to do the level without dying, which is a hard challenge. It's not this level, but generator room. I know a lot of people always find that level to be creepy when it comes to the first Crash game. Because, well, at least in the original, because Cortex's face on the monitors were very creepy looking. And it's like the whole level is like you're being stalked. You're being watched by Cortex. Right? Like you're being watched or something. I don't know how I've managed to get back from that. That's clever. I can't be the only one to think that's clever. I cannot be the only one to think that's just clever. It's just something else. All I could say, something else. It's just so clever to have something like that. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, like I said, I may have heard of them before, and I may have not. It is kind of hard to remember if I have heard of them or not. I can just tell you, I do not like these types of levels right here. Like, can I be not the only one that do not like these types of levels? Where it's just this bridge where you can easily fall like that. I cannot be the only one that does not like these types of levels. Especially the high road. Oh dear me, the high road is just something else. The high road is just something else. Like, oh man. And I just say with the high road. I mean, Road to Nowhere is what I find better than the high road, for sure. I find this one to be much better compared to the one later on. It's just a high road. It's just, ugh. That high road is just nightmare to get through. I just had to do the bonus round just so I would have a checkpoint. Just so I would have the checkpoint. I mean, yeah, the end of level's just right there, but still, I'm just... When it comes to those types of levels, I just don't trust myself going through without checkpoints. Like, it's just painful sometimes. It's funny because I could just go through this level like normal and not worry about any of the crates because, well, I need a purple gem. I need the purple gem to complete this level 100%. So I could just not really worry about the crates until once I get the purple gem. Which I do wonder if the purple gem will make a return in Crash 5. And the orange gem, which technically, doing the 200% completion in Crash 2, there is a glitched clear gem, which people assume that it is the orange gem from the first game, but we can't confirm exactly. It is hard to say, but I assume that that glitched gem in the colored gem category is actually the orange gem. Just for some reason, not in the final game. Or really whatever reason they decided not to include it. Which I do wonder why they wouldn't include the orange gem. Right, I'm very curious to wonder why they didn't include the orange gem. And, to be honest, this was the only time that we saw the orange gem. If you're not counting Crash 2, obviously, like I mentioned, if you're not counting Crash 2 with that glitch gem, that is what to be the orange gem. But again, we can't really say for certain, but I believe it is the orange gem. Or was supposed to be the orange gem. Just for some reason, cut. Oh, and also a fun fact, or yeah, something that I've learned about a long time ago. You know who was supposed to be another boss fight in Crash Warp in the original? Ripperoo. Ripperoo was supposed to be, of what I've read, oh, but I think it was, I know it was years, but the last time, of what I remember, Ripperoo was supposed to be a boss fight in Crash Warp, but was cut. You know why? There was a reason. Just because he was being used too much. You know, Crash 1, then Crash 2. So they wouldn't want to recycle or use the character a third time. So they just went with Dingo Dial and in Trophy. And originally, and this is a true fact too, and Jen and the Komodo brothers were originally cut bosses in Crash 1. Yeah, the Komodo brothers and Jen were boss fights that were supposed to be in Crash 1. You can actually find music, cut music, for their boss fights that was supposed to be in the original Crash 1. But again, they were cut and moved to Crash 2 for unexpected reasons. But yeah, originally, and Jen was supposed to debut in the first Crash game, along as the Komodo brothers. And I'm pretty sure Tiny as well. That I've saw Tiny was also supposed to debut in Crash 1, but never made it in. He was also pushed back to Crash 2 to debut in that game. Which again, it is funny to see all this cut stuff and things that could have made it to the final game. I mean, cough, Twinsanity. Twinsanity had lots of cut stuff. Twinsanity had lots of potential when it comes to Crash. It had so much potential, we could just say. It definitely had potential that was not used. Oh, especially my favorite, Going a Bit Coco, that was cut, which I hate that was cut. I loved Going a Bit Coco and the concept of going into Coco's mind and Cortex actually freaking out. Cortex freaking out, and later on, Nina was supposed to come into the level to report the damage that Cortex did, that her uncle did to Coco's mind. Originally part of the concept areas of Paul Gardner, which again, originally a developer of Twinsanity, and of course Keith Webb. Which, when it comes to Twinsanity, you always have to remember the name Paul Gardner and Keith Webb. Right, they are two developers that you just got to remember when it comes down to Twinsanity. They are the most memorable, remembered developers at Traveler's Tales, or in fact TT Games, that they were later renamed to be. But still, you just always have to remember the name Paul Gardner and Keith Webb, because they were legendary developers on Twinsanity. At least that's what I call them. Legendary, just legends by themselves, developers of Twinsanity. Like, they were definitely legends, for sure. That's funny. And also a level from Twinsanity I really wanted to see is the Rehab Lab. Oh, the Rehab Lab. Oh, the Rehab Lab. That would have been such a great level, because you know what you get to do in that level? You get to play as Evil Price and beat the snot out Cortex to turn him back to evil. Oh, that was gonna be. Oh, that could have been so fun. Beating up Cortex to turn him back into his evil self. Oh, that just thinking about that would have been so fun if it would have made it. But it sadly didn't, which is the sad part. Because you know in Twin Saturday, you have to protect Cortex throughout the game. Because if something happens to Cortex, then, like if he dies, then you also lose your extra man. It counts as you dying. And again, it's just knowing that we would have gotten to beat Cortex to a pulp until he turned back to his evil self would have been so great. But again, just missed potential. We just missed it. Which is sad because Gonna Bit Coco and the Rehab Lab, two of my favorite levels that would have been in Twin Sanity if they would have had more time to develop it. If Traveler's Tales, aka TT Games, when they renamed their company, they could have had so much more potential when it came to Twin Sanity. If only they were not rushed. If only they were not being rushed by Universal, by the publishers. Oh, do y'all know about Game Hut? Or, yeah, you know that Game Hut kind of channel, YouTube channel? That's actually one of the Twin Sanity developers' YouTube channel. And Fake Nina is either Paul Gardner or Keith Webb's YouTube channel. Yeah, I am subscribed to both of them because they're Twin Sanity developers. So, obviously, I have to subscribe to both of them. And they do showcase cut stuff from Twin Sanity. Which again, if Twin Sanity ever had a second chance. Koala Kong! What's up, boy? Koala Kong is such a memorable character. Am I right? Koala Kong is such a memorable character. Like, he is so memorable. I could just say he is such a memorable character and a fan favorite. And I would love to see him come back, like in Crash 5. Like, if not this fight, then a playable character. Getting to play as Koala Kong in a platformer like Crash 5. Oh, that would be so cool because they could have so much potential with that. Like, getting to throw boulders to solve puzzles or to unlock secret passages. Just thinking of that would be so great. Hello there, Billy. That would be so great. having Koala Kong come back. I mean, technically he was in Cross 5 or Cross 4. Technically he was in Cross 4 as one of the cut dialogues of the 100% ending, and in Toxic Tunnels as sort of a new icon and on the minecarts. But still, seeing him as an actual character return, yeah. I mean, hey, we got Brio. We got Embryo, another iconic, memorable villain, returned. And of all characters, Nitrous Oxide, not as a boss, but as a character for the one scene that we found out that he had a wife, which again, that's the first time we ever knew about that. And again, just everything that Cross 4 does in general is why I love Cross 4 so much. Again, everything that Cross 4 does, I just love it. That's why Cross 4 is my favorite Cross game of all time. I can just say, my favorite Cross game of all time. That's why Toys for Bob made a masterpiece in my eyes. Like nothing Twin Sanity or nothing that Cross 4 did wrong. Nothing to make Cross 4 did not do no wrong. Everything was fantastic, and that's why Toys for Bob made my wish come true. My childhood wish come true of always wanting a sequel to a real sequel to Crash Warp, and finally, ever since I was very little, and I finally had the wish and exactly what I wanted to. Again, I did a whole video. Talking about how my wish came true. A childhood wish come true was granted by Toys for Bob, and no other developers, I don't think, could have done what a masterpiece Toys for Bob did. Because Toys for Bob just made my wish come true. And again, if y'all haven't checked out that video, it was quite some time ago, but I really recommend of why I love Crash Bandicoot 4 so much and why I play it a whole lot. Because, again, if y'all haven't checked out that video, man, it's a good video and tells the story of why I love Crash 4 and of how amazing and great it is. And how it does not do no wrong. It nails everything perfectly in my image that I always wanted. Stuff that I've always wanted in a sequel, and it came true. Like, again, Toys for Bob just made my childhood dreams come true with Crash 4. And I don't think no other developers would have made it as great as Toys for Bob did. That's why Toys for Bob is one of my favorite developers of all time. Because of the amazing work of this game that they brought my childhood dream to life. Again, just everything. And even if y'all think it's repetitive seeing me play Crash Sports about time so much, y'all are seeing how much I enjoy. Y'all gotta remember, y'all are definitely seeing how much I enjoy the dream of my childhood come true as well. Which, whenever I play Crash 4, I just appreciate of how my dream came true one of the biggest dreams of my childhood came true. That I've always wanted. It finally came true. And everything that I wanted in a sequel as well. Wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? I can't complete this level fully. I don't have the blue gem. What was I thinking? I don't have the blue gem yet. So I can't complete this level fully. Obviously. That comes to show that I haven't done the first Crash game in quite some time. So yeah, I could just breeze through this level. Here's the level that I was talking about. I don't know why, but I just got a notification saying about how Hotel Transylvania 5 is not happening, and obviously it's not. People said no, Hotel Transylvania 5 is not happening. Hotel Transylvania 4 was the final movie of the franchise. I don't know why people would assume that there would be a fifth movie if there ain't. Hotel Transylvania 4 got released yesterday is the final movie. It was the final movie of the franchise. So, just something very questionable that I don't get why people assume Hotel Transylvania 5 will happen if they should know that the fourth movie is the last movie. Which again, it is sad, but hey, all franchises, movie franchises, do have to come to an end once in a time. So, Hotel Transylvania was another one that had to end its franchise with its last movie that just released yesterday on Prime Video. But yeah, if anybody would even think of Hotel Transylvania 5, I am so sorry to say, but it's just never happening. It's not happening because Hotel Transylvania 4 Transformania was the last installment of Hotel Transylvania. And of course, even before the movie released, it was said by Sony Pictures that it would be the last installment, the final chapter as well. It's the final chapter of the Hotel Transylvania franchise. And just how the movie ended, I'm glad it ended in a real great way of how it ended off the franchise. It was definitely something else. Got the orange gem. Toxic waste. Oh, this level. Oh, this level. This level can be a pain. This level can so be a pain. Especially these barrels. Especially these barrels. They can definitely be a pain to get through. Especially the jumping ones. They can be obviously annoying. Those barrels that jump, that bounce, they can obviously be annoying. Oh, I don't know how I did that first try. Somehow I did. That's right. And that's the reason why we know it's definitely not happening, because that's the reason too. Like you just said. That's the reason why. And again, just how Hotel Transylvania 4 ended. If y'all seen the movie, it ended in just a great way. That, yeah, I am happy of how it ended, because it ended in a great way to end off the franchise. Everything ended very well at the end, and it was really great to see how everything ended out at the end, and how of a happy ending it was. And a great way to end off the franchise, too. Before the movie came out, I was really hoping that it would end in a good way, and it did. It did end in a good way. Help me. The high road. Why? Why do I have to be at the high road? This level. This level. This level can break me. I do not love this level. I do not love this level. Again, Road to Nowhere is extremely better than this level. 100%. I do not love the high road. It's just so scary too. It's just made much harder. Ooh. Ooh. No. That's the first time I failed in this level too. That the level that I do not like in the first Crash game. If I had to make a list, which I'm pretty sure I have made a list of the levels that I do not like in the first game, is the High Road for sure. High Road is definitely up there. I know, right? That's pretty crazy to think how they got somebody very popular and he only had 2 lines. Seems like a waste of potential, don't you think? I definitely think they definitely wasted some potential. At least when it came to that character. Because again, he was just used for just that one part. Or just those 2 parts. That he was in. Oh, Slippery Climb. This level is not as bad as Stormy Ascent. Stormy Ascent is far worse than Slippery Climb. Can we just agree? Stormy Ascent is much worse than Slippery Climb. Because again, Slippery Climb is, or Stormy Ascent is basically Slippery Climb, but harder. And that's why they have a good luck, you're going to need it. Little hint, which, and the fact that you have to do this without dying, which in the bonus round it really doesn't matter, but through the whole level, not the bonus round, you have to do this without dying, makes it even challenging. Now with Stormy Ascent, oh, I am so grateful that they do not put a colored gem in Stormy Ascent. Like if that would have been where, let's say, the black gem, I'm just making up a colored gem, but like if they put a colored gem in Stormy Ascent, oh, let me just say, that would be the most painful thing ever. So we just gotta be so grateful to not put a colored gem in the level. But like I said, this level's not as worse as Stormy Ascent is. Stormy Ascent is far worse. And with that one, it's okay if you fail because you know it's going to be challenging. I do not know what happened and how I survived. I really probably shouldn't have survived that, but I somehow did. And again, we just got to our first checkpoint. This is ridiculous how right up here is where you get the first checkpoint of the level. And of course, that's where I had to die. That's of course where I had to die at. For real. Oh, that just hurts. Oh yeah, that's why I definitely prefer the Insane Trilogy of Cross 1 over the original. The original one, uh-uh. And if I was ever told what version of Cross 1 I always would prefer is the Insane Trilogy. The Insane Trilogy version I prefer way more because if you die, you don't have to redo the whole level because the crates don't respawn if you die. That's one thing I don't like about the original Cross 1 is if you die through the later in the level and all the crates respawn and you have to do the whole level again, which makes it frustrating. And that's why I always prefer the Insane Trilogy of Cross 1 because they do not make that mistake. Because I'm not saying Naughty Dog did terribly. No. I'm just saying that's just the only part I do not like is how the crates respawn. Even the ones you break when you are going through a level and you somehow die in the level and you just gotta do the whole level again from the start, and it's definitely frustrating. It's really definitely frustrating, I can tell you that. But like I said, if I was told which version of the first Crash game would be I prefer is Insane Trilogy, 100%. 100%, I would just say. The Insane Trilogy, most certainly. Compared to the original Crash 1, it would have to be the, the Insane Trilogy of Crash 1. If I was told, if I just had to be told which one, it would definitely be the Insane Trilogy of the first Crash game. For sure. Just by that one, I do wonder if it was a mistake, right? I kind of do wonder if it was actually a mistake on Naughty Dog's part, where they didn't mean to have that happen. Makes me wonder if it was a mistake, then that's I could definitely see and definitely understand. I understand if it was a mistake, but if it was on purpose, that's for real. And again, the thing I love about the bonus rounds is it doesn't matter if you fail or die the bonus round because it doesn't cost any of your lives. So that's what I love about the bonus rounds. They do not cost any of your extra man, which I am so grateful. We have to be grateful that it does not matter if you die in the bonus round, bonus stage, you will not lose any extra man, and it won't count as a death either, which is so grateful. You have to appreciate how amazing it is that they actually make it so you don't lose any extra men in the bonus stage, because that would be so frustrating, wouldn't it? That would be so frustrating if you died in the bonus stage and it actually count as a death. Like, that would be so sad. That would be so sad. Just think about that. Got it. There we go. Lights out. Which, this is another gem where we can't get or instantly because we need the yellow gem. Which hey, I gotta laugh about this. I gotta laugh about this, but slippery climb, red gem. The next level, another colored gem. Like, they have two colored gems back to back. Back to back. They have two colored gems back to back, level to level. Like, I find that just very funny how slippery climb, red gem. The next level, another colored gem. Thankfully, lights out is not as painful. Thankfully, lights out is not painful. Just gotta be very. You just gotta appreciate that, right? You just have to appreciate it. That they give you a hard level like slippery climb, and then right next they don't give you a hard level, but it's another colored gem. Oh yeah, Stormy Ascent is some kind of a little like a death level, a nightmare. No wonder Naughty Dog made Stormy Ascent a cut level. I agree with you. No one Naughty. I wonder this, or I asked the same question. I asked the same question as you. No wonder Naughty Dog cut Stormy Ascent. They really, for real, when they said that they cut it due to it being way too hard, they weren't kidding. Right? They were not kidding when they said that. But Vicarious Visions brought that nightmare feel of the level and brought it back into the Insane Trilogy. That was free D, which who knows if it was still free to this day. Probably not, obviously, because Stormy Ascent didn't come out until a month after the release of the Insane Trilogy. Did it? I know Future Tense came out in 2018. So, yeah, if I remember, Stormy Ascent came out a month after the release of the Insane Trilogy. And then, of course, Future Tense came a year later, June of 2018. And that was, let's see, that was July, August, September, October, November. 5 months before Spyro's release. 5 months before Spyro's release in November. If it wasn't with the delay on the Reignited trilogy, it would have been 3 months. It would have been 3 months after Future Tense release that Spyro would have came out, but it was 5 months. Just due to the delay that they had to do with that game. So yeah, Future Tense came out 5 months before Reignited came out. Again, if it wasn't with the delay, then it would have been 3. And it's still pretty funny how we got DLC for Crash 1 and Crash Warp, but we never got for Crash 2. I just find that funny to think that Crash 2 and Crash had DLC, but Crash 2 doesn't get DLC. Which, I don't know what the DLC level could have been. I mean, Future Tense was a new level as DLC, which they nailed it. Future Tense was surely a level that was fantastic. Can I agree? Future Tense was a fantastic DLC level. I definitely really appreciate Future Tense. Just the design of the level and how it's played out is really great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Stormy Ascent. But if I had to prefer between Stormy Sound or Future Tense. It would have to be Future Tense. I'm sorry, but it would have to be Future Tense for me. If I had to prefer. If I had to choose between one, it would be Future Tense. I'm sorry to Stormy Sound. I am sorry to Stormy Sound, but I just would prefer Future Tense over Stormy Sound. And the fact that you have to actually earn power-ups or have to earn abilities. Mostly Death Tornado and Double Jump, you mostly have to earn. And I think the Fruit Bazooka too. Oh, let's do the extra man glitch. The extra man glitch. Oh, I was waiting for this moment. The extra man glitch. Oh. Make sure I do this right. We're going to go over the 99 limit. We're going to go over the 99 limit of Extra Man. Oh, I love this glitch. Oh, how I love this glitch. Oh, how I love this glitch. Oh, I love this glitch. Oh, it's so fun. Actually cheating and going off of the barrier. Actually going off of the 99% barrier over. Having over 99 extra man is so great. Oh, this is great. I love it. We have, right now, we got 140. We got 104 extra man out of 99. Say, this is what a glitch. It's a fantastic glitch. Oh, and for Stormy Ascent, you are never going to run out of extra man. Like, if you need the extra man, do this glitch. Do this glitch. It's such a great glitch. Oh, it's such a great glitch. I want to at least get to 200. I want to at least try to get to 200 extra man. Can we get to 200 extra man? Let's see. Again, we just got to repeat this process. We got to process. And we are got 170. 170 extra man. That is not possible. But we're going above the barrier. We're going above the limit of extra man that you can have. Oh, we're going above. We're going extreme here. $183. We're almost there. We're almost there. Come on. Ain't this just something or what? Ain't this just something or what? This is fantastic. I love this glitch. Let's see. We got 183 right now. So if we do this again, we have 196. Oh, we're almost there. Come on. We're almost there. We got 196 extra men. We're almost there. 196. Come on now. 196. This should do it. This should do it. Get us past 200. This should have done it for sure. Let's see. 209. That should do it. That should do it. 209 extra men. We got 209 extra men. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, we should be good to go. Well, count that 298. But still, we got lots of extra men. We got 208 extra men. We don't have to worry about nothing. How amazing is that? How amazing is that, everybody? One of my favorite glitches in the Insane Trilogy. One of my favorite all-time glitches in the Insane Trilogy is that extra man glitch. It's just so great. Getting to go above the amount of extra man that you're supposed to have is so fun to do. Again, you can get to 300, even 400, even 600 extra man you could get to. Yeah, you could get to 600 extra men if you want. Just repeat the process, and yeah, you will have 600 extra men. Even 700, 800, 900, 9999. Or, yeah, the 3 nines. You can have that many extra men if you want. Of course, it will stop at that limit, but still, you can have no worries about losing extra men. Well, yeah, losing extra men, but not having to worry about game over or anything, which makes it great. That's what makes it great, is you don't have to worry about no game over, because you have so much extra men. It's just so gold. There you go. Brio. With our 208 extra men. Our 208 extra men versus Embryo. Bye, Glenn. Come on, Brio. Bye, Glenn. Come on, Brio. Is that all you got? Come on. That's all you can throw at me, Brio. Oh boy. Hello, Brio. Or as Bella would call it, Hulk. Because yeah, she calls it Hulk. If y'all have seen the videos with her in it on my channel, especially on her walkthrough, she prefers to Brio Hulk for some reason. Boink! Bye, Brio. The lab. Again, we got 208 extra men. 208. So I think we can handle this level. We got plenty of extra men. This part can be tricky for sure. This part can be tricky because, yeah, I gotta do that. You have to do that, which can be tricky. There you go. All these lab assistants. This part can be complicated. I keep doing it wrong too. Got him. Got him. Bye-bye, lab assistant. Definitely not making that. Definitely not making that. Ugh. Got it. The great hole. Oh, this level is pain. No, this level is pain. I can tell you. Oh, that was hard. Oh, that was hard. The hardest level in the whole game. Cortex. Dr. Cortex. On Cortex. Me? Are you versus my 208 extra man? Yeah, I doubt Cortex is gonna win. Got him. Oh, I thought I was safe. Well, hey, again, I got plenty of lives. I still got 200, over 200, so I'm good. We're good with extra men. Stormy Ascent doesn't stand a chance, for sure. Stormy Ascent just doesn't stand a chance. One of the easier kind of boss fights of Cortex, for sure. Oh, come on, Cortex. Oh, there's nothing I could have done with that, for sure. There's no way I could have survived that. Come on, Cortex. Hi there. Yeah, the Great Hall is definitely not the hardest level. Probably the easiest. Because you just gotta make one tiny jump. You just gotta make one tiny jump and you win. You actually beat the level. Like, it's definitely not very hard. Now this part can be crazy. Again, that part is or just crazy to get past because he just suits, and it is kind of hard to block the attacks because he is constantly shooting and he can accidentally get hit. That's the only part that I do find difficult. I didn't even. What am I doing? I don't even know. Come on, Cortex. That time when I died, I didn't even press the spin button for some reason. Or at least I did, but didn't do it enough where it would have made me spin. I do love the look on this level because you are on Cortex's blimp, or his airship, and his castle is in flames, right? His castle is just burning in flames, and you're fighting against Cortex through this amazing battle here. Okay, here's this part again. Again, this part can be insane. Got him. Come on, Cortex. Release your final blow. Got him! Ha! Bye, Cortex. do a quick like this. Wait, nope. Go back. Got to get an extra bits of extra man here. So let's see. Now we have 220. That's more like it. 220 extra men. That's more like it. That is more like it. Or as Dingo Doll's case, that's more like it. Now, which way's me diner? Which way's me diner? Yeah, we had 204 earlier, and now we got 220. So that should be enough extra men. Dang it, lost my. Nope, never mind. Right when I accidentally got hit and lost Aku, I was going to say, dang it, now I lost my Aku. No, I didn't. There you go, purple gem. Fumbling in the dark. I love that name. Fumbling in the dark. Wow. There is literally no way I could have did anything about that. Oh. Wow. No worries. There you go. I love that song. I love that song. That was such an amazing starting song. That's what I could just say. It was such an amazing song to start off Hotel Transylvania 4. And then Johnny just coming in saying, and then just the three of us. Like, right when he started singing just the three of us. That's just very funny. Because first off, it was just saying just the two of us. And then Johnny coming in and saying just the three of us. Right when he just came in. Like, that was funny. And it's pretty cool how we saw baby Mavis too. All right. Just had to make sure I wasn't missing anything. All right, hopefully that's everything there. Hopefully. No, it ain't. Okay. That's a good question. That's actually a good question that I'm surprised nobody, I heard nobody ask that question until now. I came up with that name. And there's actually a backstory too, which I'm pretty sure I made a video about. Talking about how Tasty Thursday came to be. Like, I'm pretty sure I did have. It would have been a while ago, but it's a very interesting and very great story. Yeah, that's definitely a question that I barely get asked, or I barely get told. Which is pretty funny. That's definitely a question that it would seem like I would get told a lot, but I barely get or asked about that. Well, it started back where, which I will go ahead and tell y'all if y'all want me to go ahead and say it in right now. I would definitely tell y'all. Basically, it started when me, my brother, and my mom would go to stay the day at my momo's house on Thursdays, and then like the whole day, and then basically at the end of the day, go and get some pizza for supper. And that's how it started. That is how it originated, and that's why I basically trying to keep. It's a tradition of what I call a great tradition that I love doing on Thursdays. And that's where I got the name from once I decided to do special streams regarding to that day. And again, that's where it originated from. That is the origin. That's pretty cool. I'm glad to know that y'all love that the story of the origin of it and how I came up with the name. So if it wasn't for back then as well, if it wasn't from back then I don't know how it would have came to be in the first place. Right. I don't know how it would have been or come to be. And just to think of how great. And it also is another reason why it's great is because it saves my mom from having to cook as well. And it's always easier because my dad when getting off to work, he can just come and pick it up on his way home. So you're not far. You're not far. It's actually 23. You were not far. You were two behind. That was a good, again, that was close. I have to definitely credit how close it was. But really close, just two numbers behind. I'm definitely impressed how you're probably the first one to actually be very close to it, to be very close of getting it, getting it so the age so close. Again, very close, and that's a good guess. That guess was very good. And it's also crazy to think how I'm going to be 20 years old next year. thinking of that and how I'm going to be 20 next year. Because this year I'll be 19. So it's crazy to just by next year I'll be 20 years old. I'll be in my 20s. That's hard to really believe that. How did I miss that bonus stage? How did I miss getting on it? I have no idea. Oh, come on. I was just saying before how I love, how I preferred the Road to Nowhere way better than the High Road. Like, I was just saying that, and now it's becoming a pain. Like, for real, I was just saying how great I find this to way better, and I'm already causing it to go wrong. Because again, just going back to what I was saying before about how earlier when we first got into Road to Nowhere, I was saying how I prefer it way better than High Road. Now this part can be absolute pain. Invisible things like that. And again, I do wonder if anybody else that would guess would actually come close to come very close, like as you, of the guess that you did. Native Fortress. I don't know why, but I always do like. Wait, ain't this the one with the red gem? Because if it is, I do like the idea of where the red gem path takes you, because it's in the clouds. And I do love that idea. I don't think before there was a checkpoint there. I don't, for some reason, I can't remember. I don't know why, for some reason, I can't remember if there was a checkpoint there or not. But it seems like just now it's going to give me one. And I know, I don't know exactly why I did that, but I don't know why I thought I would be safe from right there. Especially if I could have just done what I just did there. And it definitely would have been a bit easier. This probably has to be one of the simplest bonus rounds just because it has 5 crates. That's it. Like, it has to be one of the most simplest bonus rounds. Thankfully, I wasn't going to try to risk that. It is, yes, it is I was right of how it's the red gem path, because the reason why I love this, because it takes you to clouds. Like, why can't we have an actual level where it's like this? Why can't we have a level like this? It's so cool. Great concept. And it's just used for just one part like that. I would love to see an actual level that is entirely like that. That would be so cool. Imagine a level exactly like that. That would just be so cool. My God, it'd be so great to have a level in the clouds. And I think it would work too. I think it could work. I think it could work. A level I don't like is the lab. Yeah, the lab. Yeah, I do not like it. How and why do you have so many lives? I did a glitch where you can go above 99, where you can get above the 99 limit. It's a real great glitch. And you can get to 999 extra man. You can get to 999 extra man. And that's the highest you could go, is 999 by the. If that's a guess and not a spam person, then not a bad guess. If it is not one of those spammers, because you never, because they could come out of nowhere. But if that is an actual user and actually a guess, then that's a good guess. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is too. If it is, then that's not a bad guess. That is not a bad guess. If I have to be completely honest, it's a pretty good one. But not quite. A good, but kind of off. But again, really good one. Man, this Aku Aku lasted shortly. That Aku Aku invisibility mask lasts so shortly. Like, I got the 3 Akus, and it just lasted so shortly after. I love how they just had, of what I counted, 6 crates down in that hole. Like, that's just funny and clever. I had to fall right in between those crates, like, for real. Like, for real. Upstream. Riley. Which is funny also how, and whenever I think of them as well, is because it always reminds me of Inside Out, which Inside Out is definitely one of the saddest, but also really great Disney movies. Like, or Pixar movie. Disney, Pixar, they're the same. They're really the same. Pixar and Disney. When it comes down to that, it would seem like people would complain that Disney and Pixar are separate, but really they're the same. But again, whenever I think of that name, I always remember how about Inside Out, because how sad Inside Out is and how emotional it could be. Because I definitely wanted to cry in Inside Out, but like I said before, when it comes to sad movies and stuff, I try not to cry. Like, really, I try not to cry. Yeah, and that's all right. They are close. Which, again, you can't complain with that because it's kind of similar. It's close. But you know what? Speaking of that as well, something on a SpongeBob episode that I don't get when going back to that question is the Welk Attack episode when Sandy is telling SpongeBob and Patrick what is their, or like telling SpongeBob first what is his mother's name, and SpongeBob saying Bubble Bottom, and then Patrick saying what is his first name, and he's saying that's a complicated question. Like, what? For real? Sandy tells Patrick what is his first name, and he says that's a complicated question. That's something I don't get. Like, why wouldn't Patrick know his first name? Because Sandy, for some reason, thinking that they're whelks in disguise and having to get proof that they're not. So having to say SpongeBob's mother's name for some reason, which is Bubble Bottom, and then Patrick saying that he doesn't know her name. Which again doesn't make sense. Why would Patrick not know that? Like, for real. It just doesn't make sense. And it comes to show that, yeah, Patrick can be stupid. For real. Patrick can certainly have some dumb moments. And some that are absolutely hilarious. Like, I don't know why. I find that funny. I just find that very funny. Like, I don't know why. I always get a good laugh about that. Just, again, it's just so random. And Patrick not even knowing it makes it even funnier. I do like one of the crates in this level of where it's hidden. It's evil, but I do like where one of the crates are hidden. It's not in this area, I don't think. No. It's the next one. I always get confused. Like, which area is it? Is it the next one or the first? Or is it the first one or the next one? Maybe it's the second one. It's over here. Just to get that one crate. Again, it's evil, but it's clever. I mean, if you think about evil crates, Crash 4 certainly shows some evil crates. Crash 4 can certainly show you some true evil crates of how well hidden they are. Like, for real. Can we get up there by just... Oh, I can. Okay. Oh, well, that's where it ends, so... Pretty pointless to do that. Like, okay, then. There you go. What is my favorite Toy Story? 4. It has to be 4. Toy Story 4 has to be my favorite. It's so emotional. And the fact that I tried to hide my tears, me crying through the whole movie, or whenever there, especially the end, I try my best to hide me crying because I always do not like when I cry around people. Like, it makes me just feel weirder. It just, I do not like it for some reason. I do not like crying around when it's around people. I always try to hide it. Especially, really, when it comes to watching movies and sad parts in games, I always try to hide it. I always try to hide myself from crying. Which I know it's really not healthy to hold your tears. I mean, think that with SpongeBob. SpongeBob having a whole episode where he was holding his tears the whole time, trying to just win a bet. Like, for real. You can see how hard it is. But with SpongeBob, SpongeBob can cry about pretty much everything. Pretty much. But for me, I got a raisin. Or, well, it's not really a raisin, but a much kind of better raisin compared to SpongeBob. But yeah, Toy Story 4 is definitely my favorite. For me, Toy Story 3. Did you actually cry? I felt the tears coming. I felt like the tears were coming, and I was trying to hold them in. I definitely felt like I was going to. I definitely felt like I was about to when watching Toy Story 4. But again, I did manage to hold it back from doing so. What could be behind these red curtains? Let's find out and see. Crash is like, I hit the jackpot. He's like, I hit the mutter load. I do like these parts right here. Like Koala Kong basically moved to Hollywood. Like that's funny to think. And Pinstripe moved to Chicago. I wonder if he saw Kevin and the McAllisters and Max. Because technically Max and the place of Sweet Home Alone, if I remember, is in Chicago. Because we do see Buzz there, so it would make sense. And then the quote of, but evil geniuses are harder to squash than cockroaches, which is exactly what Crash says in Crash 4 about entropy and female entropy. But yeah, that's where we'll conclude this stream. Hopefully I enjoyed. Hit the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel. Make notifications turned on so you don't miss anything new on my channel. And let me know in the comment section below what did y'all think about this stream. Thank y'all for subscribing. See you next video. Bye.